Organisational culture change is a long, hard process. It takes time, commitment, and energy, right? But what if this isn't true? Could this be a myth? Have you ever heard anyone say, one day I woke up and I just decided I wasn't going to do it anymore. I wasn't going to keep drinking, smoking, I was going to stop eating that unhealthy food, I was going to stop sitting on the sofa. Do you know someone like that? Maybe it's you. In organisations, we spend an incredible amount of time, money and effort trying to build, shift and maintain organisational culture. We have consultants and projects and spreadsheets and vision and mission and values. It's a whole industry of speakers and podcasts and magazines. But what if we're overthinking it? What if the real reason why it's difficult to build and difficult to maintain an organisational culture is that actually it's easier than we think? We try to have a structural approach to organisational culture change. We say, these are the things that need to change, and this is what we need to do to change them. We need some of that, of course we do. But isn't culture something that rises when we do things together? I mean, just look at the recent global movements like Black Lives Matter or climate change. People coming together, sharing values, rising up and deciding to change their habits for the greater good. This doing something together is a key element, because your values without action are worthless. So, once we've decided on our values, and I know that's another whole industry, like, does it need to be? I mean, if you look at the top values most organisations aspire to, what are they? To be open, kind, transparent, accountable, etc. We want our values to build our brand so we can tell a story to other people about who we are. How many times have you heard, well, it says that on our website, but it's not really like that around here? How many times have you heard that? Maybe you're in an organisation like that now. There are many who talk about organisational culture through an anthropological lens. They remind us that as organisations, we're building a team, a club, a tribe. We've got particular rules about how we undertake tasks. There are rituals and stories and artifacts. It's very romantic. I'm sure we can identify. But we also see how this can become a closed group, a secret society, where sometimes it's very difficult to take on or accept new cultures and new rhythms and new rituals. Let's take a look at ants. There are many different types of ants. Worker ants, soldier ants, all know their place, know their job, born into a caste system, obedient, content, non-questioning, blindly following tradition, so rigid that there's no room for creativity or curiosity or difference. But there are also ants who are adaptable. They can assess the situation. They can build bridges with their bodies to allow the other ants to get to the other side. Perhaps the dangerous side, perhaps the unknown, but perhaps the side where they will grow, evolve, and be stronger. What if we decided to adapt? To just stop our old negative habits and start engaging in a new way, in a better way, in a way that reflects our human values? I'm going to tell you a little story. Some time ago, I was working in an organisation where I'd been for some time, and we were encouraged to develop our own systems and processes to map and track the work against key indicators. And we did it well. No clients got lost, everything was cleared, documented, monitored. Other sites came to us to look for how to do things, and we heard things like, "Oh, looks like you run a tight ship." Then a new senior leader started and decided they wanted to change things, change the system, change the process. What's to change? It's not broken. You want to come in and change the system to leave your mark or something? Sound familiar? What unfolded was a very painful and toxic culture. The team's relationships started to corrode. We stopped really engaging with each other. People found excuses not to come to team meetings. If they did come, they didn't really participate. People started huffing and puffing when new work came in. It was unheard of. If asked in the morning, "How are you?" a usual response was, "Surviving," or "I'm here." It went on for a long time. There were many people who tried to come in and mediate the situation, but we didn't really move on much. Then, one spring day, the operational team got together over lunch, and I remember we said, "I wonder what would happen if we just decided to walk and talk in a different way. Just change the way we spoke to each other and about the job and the tasks." We'd already done the whole, you can't change other people, you can only change yourself. This was different. This was a conversation about what it would actually look like in our day-to-day activity, our posture. We'd noticed we'd been walking around hunched. We were sad. We decided to pay attention to our posture, to be present, to be positive, to participate. We decided to be strengths-based, restorative, by speaking kindly, by being truthful about our feelings, by being respectful. So, once we'd decided this, on Monday, we said, right, we're going to do this. We started behaving in a way that we wanted to be treated. And I remember that week being in a meeting, and we said to this manager, "It must have been really difficult for you to come in and manage us." And there were tears. And we moved on. By the end of the month, we were operating in a very different way. We were transmitting in a different way. And we finally reached a compromise about the bloody spreadsheets. Unless you come together, agree and know your cause, then your values are just flat. No matter how swanky your posters or your PowerPoints or the rest of your communications. Another quick story, recent story. There's someone in my community who, over the past 20 years, has displayed racial microaggressions. Comments about smelly food as they walk past, completely ignoring us if we say hello, no eye contact, that sort of thing. And recently, they've become really kind. They call me love and darling, they stop and talk. Have they developed some neurological disorder that has caused them to forget their bias? Have environmental factors made them evaluate what matters? Have they just decided to change? Or, have they realised that practicing and holding on to negativity is making them ill? Are we really hardwired to be mean? Or do we work at it? Do we know what it takes to be caring, kind, compassionate, empowering, loving? I think we do. And I think we can do it. The Jordan jumping ant sets up its colony differently. It can send a series of neuro programs out to the other worker ants. When they receive that signal, their position in the colony is changed. They can become queen-like. What will you decide to transmit to your teams in person and virtually? What is required in this hybrid world that we are moving into? How much time, effort, and money would it save? How much capacity would it create for you to do the job for which your organisation exists if you weren't busy spending time trying to change organisational culture that everyone tells you is so difficult? What if actually it's easy? What if all you need to do is decide? What if you just have to be kind, caring, respectful, be truthful and honest and empowering and loving? Organisational culture change does not have to feel like ants in your pants. You can do this. I believe you can get together with your teams, think about your values and what they actually look like in practice, and transmit in a different way, in a positive way. This is the easy way to change organisational culture. Try it. If it works, tell someone else to try it, and tell them to tell someone else. And in a year, we could change the myth about change. Thank you.